Right, so courtesy of Digitimes, we have information regarding production of the M1X MacBook Pro and how they could be releasing in September. Now, I'm gonna say up front, I completely disagree with this. I don't think that's happening, and so let's delve into the reports, but also why I disagree. But first, make sure to like and subscribe for the latest Apple news and rumors, and with that being said, let's just tuck in. Right, so Digitimes actually offers us a lot of insight on mini LED production, but there are three main things to note. Number one, there are still supply constraints with the 12.9-inch iPad Pro, and that is pretty apparent through the long delivery times that continue to exist weeks after the initial launch. And so yes, I can understand why Apple pushed back the release of these M1X MacBook Pros. Now moving on to the second tidbit Digitimes gives us, it basically illustrates how bad things have got because Apple themselves are investing $200 million into new equipment and 4 new assembly lines for mini LED, and apparently Apple wants to make around 700 to 800,000 MacBooks per month, and so yes, I can see why Apple wants to invest a ton of money into this and get the supply on par with the expected demand before they release these new MacBooks. Though do note, if Apple's going to be investing more money into mini LED, that does mean there might be a price hike with these MacBooks. Now do remember the 12.9-inch iPad Pro went up in price by around $100, and so we could see a similar price hike with these MacBooks. However, there is a chance it could be even higher than that, since Apple is now pouring more money into mini LED production, and surely they want that money back through sales. Anyways, the final tidbit is the one I disagree with, and that's a fact. Apparently, we could see the new MacBooks launch in September alongside the new iPhones. So in the exact words of Digitimes, they say we could see these MacBooks launch in late Q3, and obviously Q3 goes from July to September, and so yes, basically they're suggesting a late September release. Now why do I disagree with a September launch? Well, for one, we never see MacBooks release in September, and yes, I know some of you guys might say that Apple's been doing some pretty unusual things this year. For example, we saw an April event, we never see an April event, and so that could mean that Apple's not going to stick to their traditional plans, right? Well, yes, I would agree that this year has been pretty weird, but that does not mean we're going to see MacBooks in September, because there is another major release that Apple does every September, and that, of course, is the new iPhone. So in case you didn't know, the iPhone makes up over 50% of Apple's revenue. It's a massive thing for them, and so you might notice that Apple never releases any other major releases in September apart from the new iPhone, because Apple wants the media attention on the iPhones and the iPhones alone, and so that's why we tend to see smaller items at the iPhone event, like the Apple Watch or the HomePod Mini or the regular iPad, releases that really won't take the attention away from the new iPhones. But of course, if we do see an M1X MacBook Pro and the new iPhones together at the same event, that's going to be a mess, since these two massive releases are going to be clashing with each other for attention, and it will get to a point where both releases don't get enough attention, and so I do think Apple's going to have a separate Mac event like they have in the past, and it should be after the iPhone event. Now, why do I think it's going to be after the iPhone event instead of before? Well, obviously, as I said in previous videos, Apple never tends to release any new products, especially new Macs, during the back-to-school promo, which is currently active and won't be ending till September, and so yes, I think the chances of us getting the MacBooks during the summer is very, very low. And also do remember that Mark Gurman has said the next several weeks are going to be pretty quiet when it comes to hardware, and then he says all attention should be on the fall, and so yes, that makes it pretty clear to me that we won't be seeing hardware till, of course, the iPhone event. And also do remember that Twitter leaker Dylan has said we should see these MacBooks in late October to early November, and so yes, that seems more likely to me, and we should see a dedicated M1X event later this year. And so yeah, those are my thoughts on this report. I don't think we're seeing these MacBooks in September, but tell me, what do you think is going to happen with the release of these new MacBooks? Anyways, thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for the latest Apple news and rumors. Check out the video in the icon above about details regarding the iPhone 13. And on that note, I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya, peeps.